Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
Now, here's your host, Ed Cohen.
Hi, this is Ed Cohen, and today is May 23, coming to you from Palm Desert, California. And our very special guest today is William Zaleski, who's a partner in the new organization called Vialto, as you can see that on the screen, Vialto Partners. So, Bill, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, nice to meet you again, Ed. I didn't realize you were in Palm Desert. I have a vacation property in Palm Springs. We could have met in person. I was there last week.
Well, we just got in yesterday, and we'll be here for a few days. This is a house we've had a couple of years. Let's talk about you. So you're in Denver, and for many years you've been a partner with PwC, and now have moved over to join others in Vialto Partners. This is pretty exciting.
Yeah, for sure, Ed. It's a really exciting movement in our industry. You know, Vialto builds on the 50-year history that PwC has built in the global mobility business. We're a 6,000 person strong organization specializing in immigration, tax, HR, and technology solutions to provide a more seamless solutions to our clients.
So there's a lot of zeros here. I mean, this is a major investment. And so you went to private equity?
We did. Our private equity partner is Clayton, Dublier and Rice CD&R. Yeah.
Been around a long time.
For sure.
Okay, so basically you're going to be doing the same thing, but adding what? More of a hands-on approach?
No, that's a good question in terms of what's going to differentiate us as Vialto versus PwC. I think there's a couple of things. First of all, we'll be acting as one sort of global organization, whereas in the past, under the partnership structure, you know, each of the firms reported into their own local structure. Now it will be one global organization with one global set of performance criteria that will ensure a more consistent delivery of services to our clients. The other big thing is the investment in technology. You know, being part of a large organization and not necessarily the most attractive piece of the large organization. We didn't always get the attention that we would have liked from an investment perspective from technology. But going forward, we have a rather significant investment budget in technology. So where in the past, I'm just using rough numbers, let's say the number was $7 to $8 million in technologies, it's going to be almost 10 times the amount and for our investment going forward in technology. So massive.
So you're going to have a robot in your office, but what does this mean? Technology is what? Not just communicating, but what? Managing data, I guess.
Managing data, building our end-to-end ecosystem, having tighter integrations with vendors such as ADP, Certino, Serva, the likes of those, so that we can provide again more of a endless, seamless transactions or service delivery model for our clients.
So does blockchain enter into this?
I think at some point in time it may. I haven't personally heard about it, but I think it's certainly something that we're thinking about. I think in speaking with Ben Berenberg, our Chief Technology Officer, he has mentioned that in the past, but more to come on that particular aspect of it.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by Porch-like Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by heirs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at heirs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
Stop dreaming and start living overseas. International lifestyle consultant Emily Braun can help you seamlessly transition to your new life in your dream destination. Whether you are a retiree, a digital nomad, or a mobile executive, Emily Braun can make your transition overseas a success. Visit emilybraun.com.
Equalization is a global group with a worldwide footprint. With 16 agencies in 10 countries, Equalization offers companies and mobile professionals a unique combination of HR services and options. Find us at equalization.com.
Take your communication skills to the next level. Barbara Bolt of Bolt Global has a passion to make you shine. As our globe expands, effective intercultural communication and presentation is a must. Visit boltglobal.com.
Okay, so mobility clients. So is this an automatic shift from PwC's clients over?
Yeah, pretty much all of our clients, as far as I know, have all joined us in the new organization. It was done through a process of novation where our prior contract under PwC was just assigned to Vialto. So, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know about rankings or what they mean, but there's some kind of merger potential going on throughout the industry now. But does this make Vialto the largest in the space, or one of the largest for sure?
I would say so. As far as I understand, we are the largest, and I think there's more news to come on the horizon as we continue to sort of grow and add more capability, both organically and inorganically through other acquisitions.
Yeah, I would think there's going to be more consolidation within the space. There's so much duplication.
For sure. And I think the other thing that is kind of a positive, being an independent, freestanding global mobility business, is that we don't have the restrictions of an accounting firm.
Right.
So a lot of things that held us back in the past dealt with, Sarbanes-Oxley and not being able to provide services to our auditors and not even provide any certain services whatsoever. So our hands are free now. We can provide services to our former audit clients at PwC and provide other services that we were restricted from providing in the past. So, and I think our clients have asked us to do this, and we unfortunately haven't been able to do that.
So let's zero in here for a moment about toxic environments out there. The great quit, whatever you want to call it, the readjustment because of the pandemic. But now it's moved on into more serious approach of restructuring organizations, and companies are sitting there with empty chairs because everybody's remote, or at least some of the time. And yet at the same time, you have an opportunity through remote and work from different places to expand your talent base, right? Without the expense of reload.
Yeah, that's a really great point, Ed. I think we're seeing, reading in the press pretty much daily, organizations like Twitter, like Ford, like Salesforce, like American Express, all offering these work from anywhere policies to large portions of their populations. And what we see as professionals is, how can organizations facilitate this, right? And how can they sort of build the structure to, facilitate these policies being announced by their companies?
So this idea of compliance and remote and who gets taxed and how much, it's really a lot of talk out there, but you guys have been dealing with this forever.
That's right. Again, we've been in this business for more than 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a no-brainer.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about, I've been looking at your bio from LinkedIn, your experience. I'm going to just read this thing and you can jump in and add on. My experience includes cross-border individual and social security tax planning, equity plan taxation, corporate tax matters affecting global employee mobility. So there's so much change going on, transformational, whatever, everywhere, at all levels. So companies are restructuring, or they're getting ready to, and nobody knows what the war in Europe is going to do to the supply chain tomorrow, never mind the values in the stock markets, and inflation. This is nuts.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, but that also creates opportunity for mobility as well, too. So as companies begin to restructure their supply chain and make decisions about how to be more nimble, be more flexible in providing these workplaces that facilitate remote workers, that's going to also require certainly in the supply chain field, building out new organizations and a certain degree of mobility as well, too, right?
And also being more agile as an organization, putting people who may not be in your employ right now, but because of remote and the hybrid nature of work in a specialty field, meaning the global mobility umbrella, and under that is what you guys are specializing in. I would think there's more opportunity than ever coming.
Yeah, for sure, and we're seeing that. We're have a full book of business and clients and new clients and targets knocking on our door asking for services. So yeah, it's an exciting time to be in the space where we're at.
So let's talk about the space of global employment companies. It's been around a long time. I remember in my live conferences having speakers from Anderson and PwC and KPMG and the like, and now the private companies that have spun off. And I would think this is right in your ballpark.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you're right. In the past, probably about 7 to 8 years ago, we've both been in this business a long enough time to realize, to remember that GECs, global employment companies, were in vogue then, right? And they were used primarily for global nomads and situations like oil companies had rotators and didn't really have a place to house people. And so they created these special purpose vehicles with inside their organizations to capture that employee population.
Yeah, that budget and that legal responsibility of who do you work for?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so go ahead.
It's evolved. It's evolved because I think companies are now beginning to use global employment companies to sort of house and meet these policy requirements of remote workers. So let's say you have a remote worker that wants to work in Ghana or Indonesia, and you as an organization don't have legal structure there. How do you employ those people? And so companies are beginning to explore the use of global employment companies for that purpose. Additionally, I think they're also using global employment companies to meet their hiring needs when they're looking to recruit new people globally, and maybe they don't initially have an organization in a particular location, so they'll use a global employment company to house new recruits, and later on we'll move them to their primary organizations.
Do you have does Vialto currently have an immigration department, or do you just outsource that to others?
No, we have one of the largest immigration organizations in the world under PwC. We're like number 2 or number 3, so we're right up there. So enormous with very large clients. Yeah.
So I'll tell you what comes to mind is the outflow from Ukraine across Europe and even here now. But some of these people are really skilled.
For sure.
And so I would, they all want to go home, but there's nothing to go home to right now. It seems like it's a really dangerous place. Never mind, unfortunately destroyed.
Yeah,
not all of it, but much of it.
And as an organization, we've helped more than the number from last week, I think it was 80,000 people exit Ukraine with immigration assistance. So our organization has sort of facilitated that. I think the other thing that's also unique is that a lot of companies are looking at their people in Russia and saying, if you want a job outside of Russia, you have the opportunity to move as well too, because there's a shortage of talent globally, and not some of these decisions are made at the political level, not necessarily at the personnel level. And so we see companies looking at that as well, not only out of Ukraine but also out of Russia too.
So it's a brave new world because there's talent everywhere.
Yep.
We are pleased to welcome Adamo Education as a proud sponsor of Global TV Talk Show.
The concept of a micro school is the reimagining of the one-room schoolhouse. My name is Tamara Becker. I'm the president and CEO of Adamo Education. The microschool concept really does not just lend itself to the personalization and the customization of learning, but also the social development and fostering that sense of love for learning. Unlike what we see in traditional brick and mortar schools, we have multiple grade levels in the same learning space. Students can be enriched by the socialization that they get, as well as the academic support from peers. What differentiates Adamo is the fact that we are taking the best pieces of brick and mortar, of digital, and then at-home learning. Students here can come 5 days a week. They can come 4 hours a day. It will really just depend on what is best for the student and for the parent. To enroll, just reach out via phone, text, or email, and we'll have that personalized conversation, and we'll be able to get you all set. Check us out at adamoeducation.org.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
Okay, so from LinkedIn, I'm just going to read this and perhaps you can comment or stop me. What do you do? Concentration of services to globally mobile employees with complex, underline, residency and work patterns, tax equalization, design and review of cross-border shadow payroll, global sourcing center. All these are really high-level things, and the larger organizations is what you're focusing on, right?
I have clients that have thousands of employees overseas and clients that have 3 or 4. So I sort of span the gamut of it, and I have a large team that supports me here in Denver, and then also are in the West region as well too. So we have a broad array of clients and all different service lines.
So everybody, as you could tell, this is unrehearsed, and we like to keep it that way to keep it stimulating and provocative. This is Bill Zaleski in Denver with Vialto Partners. Thank you for being our guest in this abbreviated, quick, bite-size, deep dive into you and Vialto Partners. Thanks for being on Global TV.
My pleasure, Ed. Nice to see you again. And
thank you. Be well.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.